how it will come out, and how we can actually ensure that practically we get it implemented in the state of Karnataka. So I'm sorry if I just got back today from US trying to do just the things that you have put up, trying to make Karnataka $1 trillion economy. So Mr. M.B. Patil, the industry minister, and me traversed across the east coast to the west coast of the United States, pitching Karnataka as the go-to destination when it comes to investments in India. So I just landed today at 5 a.m. So if usually what happens when politicians speak, the audience falls asleep. So but today if I feel groggy and I fall asleep, Chinmay, please wake me up. So Mr. Belwadi said in his talk that he hopes to do this event every year. So for that, sir, you have to do only two things. Ensure that everybody votes for our government every time. Number two, ensure that I become the IT minister. So these two things will ensure this happens every time. But irrespective of which government is there, I think it's very, very important that such programs should be encouraged for the benefit of not only the ecosystem but also for the state. So anyway, I'm here to speak on how we can be propelling Karnataka towards the $1 trillion economy, or how we will be we are thinking of transforming technology and transforming lives. So how many of you here are from Bengaluru? So most of you. So everybody knows Kempegowda. Nadaprabhu Kempegowda ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? So Bengaluru is a city. Of course, Mr. Prashant Prakash is very, very passionate about Bengaluru. I'm sorry, he knows the history better than me. Bengaluru did not become a startup city or a city of trade and commerce overnight. It did not become an economical powerhouse overnight. It started way back in 1537. So a lot of you from Fiki over here, I'm sure, are from the old economy. So you must be knowing what is Akkipete, Padalpete, Mamulpete, Dodpete, Upparpete. So these are all small zones created by the then chieftain Kempegowda. Akkipete was where they dealt with rice, Upparpete with salt, Gadgerpete with oil. So what you would now call special economic zone. It was not that. It was also Bangalore is an economic powerhouse or has the entrepreneurship spirit, not by fluke, it was by design. It was by design. So the idea was to ensure that this small town flourishes. So in his speech, Mr. Kamath was mentioning that how we have evolved. So it's taken us 500 years to get from there to here, to be the fourth largest technology cluster. Like I said, it was by design. You spoke about the Maharajas. Not many people, I'm not sure if they recollect. Sir, I was reading it in one of the books that Mr. Prashant Prakash gave, which I was supposed to launch. I did not come, sir. I'm sorry about that. Sir Mirza Ismail, the Diwan of the state of Mysuru, had very famously quoted it way back in 1930, saying that he, quote unquote, he says, "We are very proud of the products of these factories. Mysoreans wash themselves with Mysore soap, dry themselves with Mysore towels, clothe themselves in Mysore silks, ride Mysore horses, eat the abundant Mysore food, drink Mysore coffee with Mysore sugar, equip their houses with Mysore furniture, light them with Mysore lamps, and write their letters on Mysore paper." So, much before Make in India, much before Atmanirbhar Bharat, Karnataka was already vocal for local. This is a fact. And our state has always been blessed with great administrators who always think out of the box to ensure that our state flourishes. Look at the amount of public sector units that have been here, NA, NHL, HMT, everything. Name the public sector unit, we had it. We were the cradle for banking. Karnataka Bank, Vaisya Bank, Canara Bank, the State Bank of India, State Bank of Mysore. All this happened right here in Karnataka. So if we are leaders in sectors, it is because we have been nurturing it over time. Mr. Kamath in his speech said that the minister of the state or the chief minister wants us to be number one in every sector. Yes, we can be number one in every sector. We have the appetite, we have the knowledge, we have the skill sets. If any state in the country is poised to be number one in any sector, it can only be Karnataka. I will take a look at our educational landscape. Like I said, this has happened by design. Take a look at our educational landscape. We have 234 engineering colleges, 60 medical colleges, 44 universities, 1,777 public and private industrial training institutes. We have the Indian Institute of Science, we have the Indian Institute of Management, we have the IIIT, we have the NIT, we have the ISRO. We are planning, we are getting the highest number of graduates into the workforce in India. I mean, like we did not become the world's fourth largest cluster overnight. We moved from being the call center for the world to back office operations of other services, and then we have moved on now to research and development. Out of the top 500 Fortune 500 companies, more than 400 of them have their biggest research and development units in Bengaluru. It's happening right here. And from R&D hub, now we are moving on to the innovation and invention hub. We are innovating like ever before, like how Mr. Prashant Prakash told across in his presentation. I mean, we get a lot of flack sometimes. Bengaluru is often compared with Telangana. I don't think so. I've stopped comparing Bengaluru or Karnataka with any other state. We are not competing with anybody. We are competing with the likes of China. We are competing with the likes of America. I mean, I'm not saying it because I'm Canadian. Look at the statistics. Very clearly, I mean, these are not statistics. You are saying numbers, numbers, I will tell you the numbers. We are first in the India Innovation Index. We are first in service exports. First in foreign direct investment inflows with 38%. A whopping 40% share. We are number one in electronics design in India. In machine tools manufacturing, we have 52% share. In aerospace and defense manufacturing, we have 65% share. Karnataka is currently exporting close to around $4.52 billion worth of electronics. Biotech production and exports are 60%. In renewable energy, 63% of the total installed capacity from renewable sources are coming from renewable sources. We have 1/3 of India's tech talent. We have close to around 25,000 startups here with 140 accelerators and incubators. We have 43 unicorns and 47 soon-to-be unicorns. We have raised $66 billion by VCs last year, and our ecosystem, our startup ecosystem is valued close to around $200 billion. And do you think it is right to compare ourselves with Telangana or any other state? Only in the IT services sector, there are around $415 billion behind us. I should update this in the paper. I mean, these are not my numbers. These are numbers given by the government of India. These are the numbers given by the academies, the institutions like FICCI. So, what are we doing now? So, like I said, every government that gets new government comes, ಅವರು ಒಂಥರ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಹಳೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೊಸ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ ಇದೆ. So, but what is it that we are doing that we can accelerate this? I mean, of course, not the political part of it. So, we've given ourselves, the Department of Information Technology, Electronics and Biotechnology, we've given ourselves a mantra called breaking boundaries. We as a state, we are always hungry to achieve more so that the state and the nation progresses. So as a state, we feel that we need to be more resilient. We need to ensure that we are ready for the challenges of the future. We need to ensure that Karnataka is future ready for emerging technologies in any vertical, in any sector. So in order to ensure that, we are following some 4 to 5 very simple rules. Yes, I mean, this is going to take time, but these are the only 4 or 5 things we are going to do. We are not going to say yes to everything. We are not going to decline anything that will be in the way of progress. So first and foremost thing, what is the government of Karnataka interested in doing is skilling our people. For the first time, the government of Karnataka has started a skill advisory committee in emerging technologies. So this skill advisory committee has me at the helm as the chairman and the skill development minister as the co-chairman. For the first time, we have got the industry, we have got the academia, as well as the government, as well as policy makers on one table to figure out what the people of Karnataka, what the government of Karnataka should be delivering to the people of Karnataka. So, like I said, we are giving 1/3 of the technology workforce is coming from Karnataka, but are they employable? I wouldn't say so. So, what are we doing? We are talking to experts. So, we are talking to industry and telling us, tell us how many cyber experts do you need? Tell us how many data scientists do you need? How many AI scientists do you need? What kind of skill sets are required for biotechnology accelerators? So, whatever they are saying, we are putting it in a form, in a framework, so that we will be able to bridge that gap that the academic syllabus is having right now. So if I want to make it a part of my curriculum, it's going to take me 2 academic years, 3 academic years perhaps. But what is the band-aid solution? Come up with this skill sets as a plug and play model across the state. So for the first time, we are listening to the industry so that we can be also, we can also suggest the same thing as courses for the academia. The second thing we are doing is creating centers of excellence. I think centers of excellence are very important. They act as incubators. They act as leadership training in the vertical. They act as grooming for they will be for grooming for startups that will innovate and invent. We will have a direction for that particular vertical in the center of excellence. Already we have centers of excellence for deep tech. We have centers of excellence in IoT, cybersecurity, agri-innovation, data science and AI. We have it in aerospace. We have it in semiconductor fab. We have in machine intelligence and robotics and animation. We already also have it in gaming. So these are the centers of excellence that we already have. Now within this financial year, I will ensure that we'll be creating more centers of excellence in health science and medical devices, manufacturing, automobile tech, wireless and wireless products, a biotechnology accelerator and also a gaming accelerator perhaps. So if Vicky thinks, if the people over here think during this course, during your discussion over today, that there is one particular sector that requires focus, let's say marine biotechnology, it requires marine innovation. All you need to do is reach out to the government and say that this is what we have studied, this is what we think we should do, and let's partner together with the Center of Excellence. Media and entertainment, no problem. You just need to guide me. Sir, I'll tell you one thing, I'll be very honest, sir. Government don't understand anything. No government. Whether it's the European governments or whether it's the American governments or whether it's the states. No, we don't understand. The technology is changing faster than the policies. Policies always playing catch up. I was reading a report the other day about European Union now trying to regulate AI. You mentioned that earlier in your speech as well. Now budget ಭಾಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವಾಗಲೇ. We are going to bring in rules of for use of AI within governments. The point I'm trying to make is, as a government, we need to listen to the stakeholder. We need to listen to you. ನಾವು ಬರೇ ಆಳೋದಷ್ಟ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆಲಿಸೋದು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. That will only happen when we interact with you. Nobody asked us to form a skill advisory committee. The government realized that, and that's why we're talking to the industry. Nobody asked us to set up centers of excellence. We realized that we are doing that. And now we are seeking your help to do that. How do we accelerate? How do we go further in this? And the third important thing that we are doing is we are setting up global innovation alliances. We have 33 countries who are partnered with us. Unlike before, it's just not going to be meet and greet or a few photo opportunities for the ministers and the officers and vice versa, wherein delegation comes, we bouquet kodthivi, tea, coffee kodtu kalsibidtivi. This time it is going to be a very, very sector-based approach, very particular sector-based approach. So example for Australia, we are talking on how we can use marine biotechnology corridor. We are talking with Israel, we were talking about a cyber security corridor. With Germany, city of Düsseldorf, we are talking about a market access corridor. So our startups also get exposure to them. So one of our startups who have registered with the government of Karnataka, they are into some security, some touchless security solution. So because of our tie-up with the city of Düsseldorf or because of our tie-up with Germany, they got access to the German market. And because Germany is a part of the European Union, they have got access to the entire European countries. So this global innovation alliance that we intend to do is very, very unique to our ecosystem. Nobody else can do it. You go and look at any state, any city, nobody can do this, what we are doing. So we are creating corridors wherein we will have innovation alliances, particular innovation alliances with other countries as well. And the fourth most important thing, I think, which most of you here will appreciate, because most of you, I think, are businessmen, ease of doing business. So most of them say that Agarwal ji bolte hai ki a single window system which leads to many doors. So we want to stop that. So we will be reaching out to you. The Honorable Chief Minister has given Mr. M.B. Patil and me the task of trying to do this ease of doing business much, much more simply. We will be reaching out to FICCI and to every sector, including startups, that how is it that we can ensure that your business thrives without government policies hurting you. I'll give you an example. Do you know that red bus is illegal in India? Ola is illegal in India. Uber is illegal in India. Because that's not their problem. It's not the company's problem. It's the problem with our policies. Because Karnataka Motor Vehicle Act does not recognize carpooling, does not recognize various aspects. Like I said, policy always plays catch up. But that does not mean that their business is illegal. So we need to come up with policies. We need to come up with. So we will be reaching out to each one of you based on your sector to give us what is it that needs to be done to ensure that we don't stand in the way of your progress. So actually last time I had come up with the Karnataka Innovation Authority. So if there is a business that we don't understand, until a policy comes, they can do their business, but they rest with the authority. They rest with the Innovation Authority. Now the gaming industry is suffering. 28% tax applicable. Okay, without understanding the difference between game of skill and a game of chance. Now, my state is the biggest loser. I am against betting of any kind, on record. I am against betting of any kind. But gaming does not mean only that. So governments won't understand until and unless you people say that. So that ease of doing business is something that we need to, that we'll be reaching out to. Fifth and the last most important thing is, we will be coming up with a new public procurement policy. So if the startup has an IP, if a startup is registered in the government of Karnataka, sometimes what happens is startups just don't require money. They might have enough mentoring, they might have enough funding, they might have enough growth within the private sector. But when it comes to scaling, it's only with the government. No, the government is your biggest customer. Or maybe it can also be, why can't the government be the first customer if there's an IP? So we are coming out with a policy wherein startups that are registered with the government of Karnataka, especially the homebred startups, have some percentage of government procurement for them. So if there is a 100 rupees procurement that the government is coming out with, maybe 5 or 10 rupees of the procurement will go to a startup if they're in the same thing. I think this will be a very, very game-changing policy for this entire ecosystem. So you were mentioning, the Soul program is transforming tech and transforming life. I noticed that, sir, My3 Aquatech Uday ಅವರು ಭಾಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ that you want to do it with 100. Sir, we can do it with 1,000. All you need to do is tell the government that there is a new technology like this. Let's experiment. Like government is the only institution that can take that risk, and they are not afraid to fail because this is public good. Just like how Rotary does good things, sometimes government also does good things. So my point is, this is what I'm saying. The point, if you want to scale, government can be your partner. So these 4 or 5 things that I suggest, what we are doing in within the government of Karnataka is to ensure that startups and the entire ecosystem of entrepreneurship thrives. Because they say that you cannot discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. So when you lose sight of that shore, we want to ensure that the government of Karnataka is right by your side so that you find new lands. And when the new lands are found, we are going to be there with you, establish it with you, help you with it. If we are ready for any course correction that might be required as well. Like I said, you have a government that is listening to you. All you need to do is just knock at your door and tell us what needs to be done. Like I said earlier, again I'm repeating myself, we do not understand things. The stakeholders understand it. And if we need to reach $1 trillion economy in every sector, each one of us will have to contribute. Each one of us will have to go together. So if you want to go together, we will reach our destination a little slower, but we can do it surely. So I'll not take much of your time. I already see a lot of sleepy faces. So I would like to congratulate Rotary International and the state body over here, and FICCI, and my friend Mr. Ullas Kamath, Mr. Prakash Balwadi, and the entire team for putting together this fantastic soul-searching conclave for all of us. I'm sure this soul-searching is not only for technology but also for policy as a whole. So whatever you require, the government of Karnataka is here for you. I am here for you personally. All you need to do is just let us know what is it that you can, what is it that actually you don't require our help, we require your help. So I'm sure that this platform will not only celebrate entrepreneurs but also will inspire the next generation of leaders and young entrepreneurs that will lead Karnataka towards that $1 trillion economy. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.